Astronomical Geomancy. By Gerardus Cremonensis. On Astronomical Geomancy. Because astronomy is so transcendent and subtle an art in itself, that therein a man ought to have respect unto so many things before he can attain to true judgment thereby. Because the eye of the understanding will not pierce unto the half thereof, and few doctors of our later time have been found so experienced therein that they know sufficiently how to judge thereby. Therefore I have composed this work, which I wilt have to be named, Astronomical Geomancy, wherein I will sufficiently teach how to judge with less labor and study. For in this present science it is not requisite to behold neither the ascendant, nor the hour in a table, as it is in astrology. It is expedient therefore, to make 4 unequal lines, by the points casually set down. And to join together those points, and out of the points which are not joined together, which do remain in the heads of the lines, as it is done in geomancy, extract one figure. And the signa of the zodiac that answereth to that figure, put for the ascendant, for the word's sake. If acquisitio arise from the heads of those 4 lines, let Aries be placed in the ascendant. If Letitia, or the lesser fortune put Taurus in the ascendant, if Pure or Rubeus, place Gemini, if Albus, Cancer, if Via, Leo, if Conjunctio or the dragon's head, Virgo, if Puella, Libra, if Amicio or Tristitia, Scorpio. If the dragon's tail, Sagittary, if Populus, Capricorn, if Fortuna Major, Aquarii, if Carcer, then put Pisces for the ascendant. Afterwards in the second house, let that signa be placed which immediately succeeds the other. In the third house the third signa, and so place the rest in order until you come unto the end of the signas. And make one square figure divided into 12 equal parts, and therein place the signas in order, as it is in astrology, and as you may find them in this figure. Neither are we here to regard the witnesses, or judge, or any other thing which belongs to geomancy, but only the 16 figures, that by them we may have the 12 signas, to which they agree, and observe the manner of the figure as it is here placed. Afterwards it is requisite to make 4 lines by course for every planet, by points casually pricked down, and likewise for the dragon's head, as you have done for the ascendant, and divide those points by 12. And that which remaineth above 12, or the 12th itself, if a greater number doth not remain, retain, and the planet for which the projection was made, place in that house of which the suprabounding number shall be. That is, if there remain 12, let the planet be placed in the 12th house, if 10, in the 10th house, if 1, in the first house, if 2, in the second house, and so of the rest. And you ought always to begin from the sun, and afterwards from the moon, then from Venus and Mercury, and from Saturn, Jupiter and Mars, and the dragon's head and dragon's tail. But you must always take heed that you do not make a question in a rainy, cloudy, or a very windy season, or when thou art angry, or thy mind busied with many affairs. Nor for tempters or deriders, neither that you may renew and reiterate the same question again under the same figure or for me, for that is error. Questions of the first house. If you are desirous to know concerning the life of any man whether it shall be long or short, behold the Lord of the ascendant, who if he be in strong angles, it signifies long life, in succeedance, a middle age, and in cadent houses, a short life. And if he be in strong angles, he signifies greater years, if in succeedance, meaner years, if in cadence, lesser years. The lesser years of Saturn are 30, the meaner are 44 years, and the greater 58. The lesser years of Jupiter are 12, the meaner years 40, and the greater accordingly are 47. The lesser years of Mars are 15, his mean years 40, and the greater years 47. The lesser years of the Sun are 19, his mean years 45, and his greater years 82. The lesser years of Venus are 8, her mean years 45, and her greater years 82. Mercury's lesser years are 20, his mean years 49, and his greater years 80. The lesser years of the Moon are 15, her mean years 39, and her greater years 107. And also look if Mars or Saturn shall be in the first house, and the Lord of the 8th with them. And if the Sun shall be in the 8th, the Carent shall not live, likewise if the Lord of the Ascendant shall happen to be void of course, and Mars be in the 8th, the Querent shall not live. But if the sun and the moon shall be in conjunction in the 7th house, and Venus in the 2nd, he shall live well. The accidents of the nativity are likewise to be considered. If you find Saturn or Mercury in the 1st, he is foolish and talkative; if it be Mars and Mercury, he will not be servile, but a wrangler and scoffer; if the Sun and Mercury, he will be a speaker of truth. And if the Sun be in Aries, he will apply himself to learn whatsoever he shall hear; if Venus be in the 7th, he will be luxurious; and if Saturn, Mercury and Venus be in their fall, he will be a sodomite. If the Sun and Venus be in the 10th, and the Moon in the 1st, he will be very liberal; if Venus, Mercury and the Dragon's head be in the 1st, he will be covetous; if the Moon and Mars be in the 1st, he will be subject to great bondage. And if Mars be lord of the nativity, he will be rich, and an evil speaker, and litigious; and if the Sun be in the 1st, he will be envious, having a fair body, not very lean, nor very fat; and if Venus be in the 1st, he will be white and fair. If Mercury be in the 1st, he will not be stable, but always in motion; but if the Moon be found there, it denotes him to have a graceful face, breast and arms; if Saturn be there, the man will be black and filthy. If Jupiter, he will have a round face, a fair forehead, a ruddy complexion mixed with a little white. If you would know his office or art, if the Moon be in the 7th with Saturn, or in the 4th, or in the 10th, or in the 1st, it is not good for him to build any house in a city, nor to build a ship. Neither is it good for him to be a tiller of land, or to dress vines, or plant trees. But to be employed about some office belonging to the water, or concerning marriages, or to be a post or a messenger. Neither let him apply himself much to his master, because he shall gain no repute from him; if the Moon be in the 5th or 3rd, it will be good to him; in the 2nd, 8th, 6th and 12th, neither good nor evil. Jupiter signifies bishops, prelates, nobles, potentates, judges, wise men, merchants and usurers. Mars signifies warriors, incendiaries, homicides, physicians, barbers, hangmen, goldsmiths, cooks, furnaces, and all fireworks. And if Mars be in strong signas, he will be poor and die in captivity, unless he put himself in arms with some soldier or vassal. The Sun signifieth emperors, kings, princes, nobles, lords and judges. Venus signifies queens and ladies, marriages, communications, friendship, apothecaries, tailors, and such as make ornaments for plays, sellers of cloth, jesters, vintners, players at dice, whores and robbers. Mercury signifies clerks, philosophers, astrologers, geometricians, arithmeticians, Latine writers, and painters, and all subtle artists, as well men as women, and their arts. Concerning the intention of the Querent, look unto the signa ascending, and his lord, and where you find the lord of the ascendant, he comes to inquire about something pertaining to that house. And if the Sun be lord of the ascendant, his question is concerning fear which he is in of some man; if Venus, he inquireth of arts, that he may know some proper arts, or he inquireth concerning things belonging to women. If Mercury be lord of the ascendant, he seek after something that is lost, or inquireth concerning some infirmity. If the Moon he seeketh also for something lost, or inquireth about sickness, or some disease in his eyes. If Saturn be lord of the ascendant, he inquireth about some sickness, or concerning a prince, and keepeth silence, but hast some great grief or anguish in his heart. If Jupiter be lord of the ascendant, his question is concerning some infirmity, or restitution, or for some office which he desireth to have. If Mars, he inquireth for some fear, or of an enemy, death, sickness, riches, or substance. Questions of the 2nd house. If you would he informed concerning the substance of any man whether he shall be rich or not, behold the lord of the 2nd, which if he shall be with a good planet, and a good planet likewise in the 2nd, he shall be rich. But if the lord of the 2nd be joined with evil planets, and an evil planet shall be in the 2nd, he shall be poor. If you would know whether you shall have again a thing lent, or not, look if there be an evil planet in the 2nd, and disagreeing with his lord. Then he that detaineth the thing lent, will not willingly render back the same, but if there be a good planet in the 2nd, and agreeing with his lord, it shall easily be recovered. And if the lord of the second be exalted and be evil, or if an evil planet be with him in the second, or if the lord of the second be exalted, he which keepeth the thing deposited, will not willingly restore the same. But he shall do it whether he will or not. And if an evil planet be in the second, it's to be recovered, but if Mercury be in the second, so that he be his lord, and bringeth contrariety, then it shall be recovered. And if a good planet be in the second house, he signifies recovery, although he be the lord thereof. Mark therefore the concord and discord of the planets. The moon and Jupiter are friends, the moon and Mars enemies. Mercury and the sun are friends, Mercury and Venus enemies, Venus and Jupiter are friends, Jupiter and the moon are enemies. The planets are said to be friends, when they agree in one nature and quality, as Mars and the sun, because both their natures is hot and dry. Venus and the moon do agree in cold and moisture, or when planets do agree in substance and nature, as Jupiter and Venus are friends, or when the house of one is the exaltation of another, or on the contrary. Questions of the third house. If that you desire to know, how many brethren a man hath, see the lord of the third, and it is to be held, that to so many planets as he is joined, so many brethren the querent hath. And the masculine planets signify brethren, and the female planets sisters, and note, that Saturn and Mars, the Sun, Jupiter, and the dragon's head, are masculine. But the moon, Venus, and the dragon's tail are feminine, but Mercury is promiscuous, sometimes masculine and sometimes feminine. He is masculine when he is joined to masculine planets, or when he is in a masculine quarter of the zodiac. And he is feminine, when he is joined to feminine planets, or when he is in a feminine quarter of the zodiac. Questions of the fourth house. If thou wouldst know whether it be good for thee to stay in any land, city, village, territory, or house, or not, behold the lord of the ascendant of the fourth, and of the seventh. And if the lord of the fourth be in the seventh, and be good, and the lords of the first and the 10th house be good, and with good planets, then it is good for thee to continue in that place wherein thou art. And if the lord of the seventh be with a good planet, and the lord of the fourth with an evil planet, then it is not good for thee to abide there, because if thou dost continue there, thou shalt suffer many losses, and have evil reports raised on thee in that country. But if thou wouldst know when any one that is absent will return, behold the lord of the ascendant, and if you find him in any one of the 4 angles, he will return in that year. And if he be not in an angle, then see how far he is distant from the first angle, for so long he will stay, and so many years as there be houses. If you would be informed of the dearth or plenty of things, behold the strong houses, the succeedence and the cadence. For the strong houses signify dearth and scarcity, the succeedence a moderate season, neither too dear, nor too cheap, the cadence signify plenty in profitableness of things. Consider also the planets, and their places, which if they be in strong houses, the things which are signified by those planets will be rare, and note, that Saturn doth signify fields, vines, and instruments to work in fields, and leather. And of fruits, corn, acorns, oak apples, and pomegranates. Jupiter hath oil, honey, silkworms, cloth, wine, and grass, and things that are odoriferous. Mars signifies wine, and flesh, and especially hogs, wars, and armor, and such things as belong thereunto, and red garments. The sun bath signification of wheat, and wine, purple colors, and cloth, and all things that are assimilated unto gold, horses, and birds, such as hawks and falcons. Venus doth signify fatness and grapes, figs and dates, fish and pastimes. Mercury hath barley, millet, grain, money, and quicksilver. The moon signifies oats, milk, cheese, fire and salt, cows, rams, hens, and silver, and accordingly plenty in scarcity of them. Questions of the fifth house. If you would know whether a woman be with child, or whether she will have any children, or not, look if the lord of the ascendant be in the seventh, or the lord of the fifth in the first, or the lord of the first in the fifth. Or if the lord of the fifth be in the seventh, or if the lord of the seventh be in the fifth, or the moon with them. Or if good planets be in the first, or the fifth, or with the lord of the fifth, or are in angles, she is with child, or may have children. But if you find none of them, but evil planets in the same places, she neither is with child, neither will she have any children, and if there be both good and evil planets in the said places, then happily she may have children. But they will not live. But if Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces shall be in the first or fifth house, she may have children, but if Leo and Virgo be there, she is not with child, neither shall she ever have any children, or if the Lord of the fifth shall be in them houses. And if you would know, within how many years she shall have children, look where you find the Lord of the fifth, for in that year she shall have issue, if he be in the first year, if in the second year. And so you may number unto the 12th house. And if mean signas be in the ascendant, she that is with child hath twins in her womb, which will live, if a good planet be in the first, and if an evil planet, they will die. And if there be one good and another evil, one shall live, and another die, and if a mean signa shall be ascending, and Mars in that signa, the mother shall die, and not the child, if Saturn, both the mother and child shall die. And if the dragon's tail be there, it's possible they will both die, but the infant shall not escape, and if the dragon's tail be so in the first, and the 10th house fallen, the mother shall die. Likewise if Mars and the moon, or Mars and Saturn be in the first, 7th or 10th, the mother shall die. Whether the party with child shall miscarry, or not. Consider if a movable signa be ascending, because if it be so she will miscarry. If you would know whether a woman shall bring forth a man-child, or a woman-child, behold the ascendant and his lord, which if he be masculine and in a masculine signa, or in a masculine quarter of the figure, it is a male child. But if the lord of the ascendant be feminine, and in a feminine signa, or in a feminine quarter of the circle, it will be a woman-child, and so you shall consider also of the moon. Consider also if more of the planets be in masculine signas, then it will be a male child, and if many planets be in feminine signas, then it is a female child. And if you would know whether the child be legitimate or adulterate, see if Saturn, Mars or the dragon's tail be in the fifth, or with the lord of the fifth, because if it be so it is adulterate. If a good planet shall be there, it is legitimate, and if the lord of the first, be in the fifth, or with his lord, it is legitimate, and so likewise if the lord of the fifth be found in the first or with the lord of the first. If you desire to know whether rumors be true or false, see if you find Saturn, Mars or the dragon's tail, in the ascendant, because if they be so then the rumors are false. But if you find the Sun, Jupiter or the dragon's head there, then they are true, and if there be masculine planets in masculine signas, and feminine planets in feminine signas, then they are true. And if both good and evil planets be there, then they are partly true and partly false, and if there be a good signa with the planet, it testifies the truth, and if the planet fall with an evil signa, then it is false. Likewise if Mercury be in the first, the news is false, but if the moon be in the first in a feminine signa, or joined with the lord of the ascendant in a feminine signa, then the rumors are true. Also if good planets be in the first, fifth or ninth, and feminine signas, they are true, but if otherwise, they are not. If you would know whether any one that is absent will return, and when, see the lord of the ascendant. And the first, which if you find them together, for certain he will come, and is now beginning his journey. Likewise if the lord of the fifth be in the first, or with the lord of the first, and if he be in his fall, the messenger is sick in his way, but if the lord of the fifth be exalted, then he cometh joyfully. And if he be in a cadent signa, he shall be grievously afflicted with sickness, or shall die. If you would know if he bringeth that with him for which he went, or not, behold the lord of the seventh. Which if he be good, he bringeth that which he sought for, and if he be in his fall, or an evil planet be there, he bringeth nothing with him. Questions of the sixth house. Whether the sick shall recover his health, or die. If the question be concerning his sickness, see if Saturn, or Mars, or the dragon's tail be in the first, and whether his lord be joined with an evil planet, then he shall die soon. And if the lord of the first be good, and evil planets be in the first with his lord, or likewise in the first or the eighth, for certain he will die, but if the lord of the first be in the eighth, or with the lord of the eighth, or the lord of the eighth in the first, or with the lord of the first, there is doubt of his death. And if evil planets do possess the angles, evil and destruction is threatened to the sick. But if good planets shall be in the first, sixth and eighth, and likewise in the angles, and the lord of the first be from the eighth and his lord, then the sick person shall live and recover his health. If you desire to know whether he will be cured by medicines, give the first house to the physician, the 10th to the sick, the 7th to his diseases, and the 4th to the medicines. If evil planets be in the first, the physician shall profit him nothing, but they testify that this will be worse for the diseased, but the fortunes do signify, that he shall be profitable to him. And if evil planets do occupy the 10th house, the sick person is the cause, for they testify, that he himself is the cause of his own disease, but the fortunes being there, signify the contrary. But if evil planets be in the 10th house, they change the condition of the sick out of one disease into another, but the fortunes being there, do deliver him without the help of physicians or medicines. Also evil planets being in the 4th, do testify, that the medicines do augment his grief, and the fortunes being there, do mitigate and heal him. If thou wouldst know if thou shalt go unto the person and heal him. Consider the place then, for if he shall be with Saturn, Mars, or the dragon's tail, or with the sun, go not unto him, but if Jupiter, Venus, or the dragon's head be in the first or in the 7th, go, for it will be good. And if there be the moon with a good planet, go, and give him physic, but if she shall be with an evil planet, and especially in the 7th house, then thou shalt not go. Because thou shalt profit him nothing, and if there be good planets there, go and look diligently to him, where or in what members he suffers. Because Aries hath the head, Taurus the neck, Cancer the breast and lungs, Leo the heart and stomach, Virgo the belly and intestines, Libra the reins and loins, Scorpio the secret members, Sagittarius the thighs, Capricorn the knees, Aquarius the legs, and Pisces the feet. Questions of the 7th house. For theft, look unto the Lord of the 7th, which if he be in the first, the theft shall be restored again. But if the Lord of the first be in the 7th, it shall be a long time sought after, and at length shall be found, but if the moon be in the first, or with his Lord, it shall be found. If the moon be in the 5th, or with the Lord of the first, or are in the first, it may be found, but if the sun and the moon be in the 5th, and if the Lord of the 8th be with the Lord of the first in the first, it shall be found. But if the Lord of the 2nd be in the 8th, it shall not be found. And if Saturn, or Mars, or the dragon's tail be in the 2nd, it shall not be found, nor be altogether lost. And if the Lord of the 2nd be in the first, the thing that is lost shall be found, but it shall not be known from whence it came. If the Lord of the first be in the 2nd, it may be found after much labor. And if the Lord of the 2nd be in his fall, it will never be found, but if he be exalted, it shall be found very well, but the 7th house sheweth the thief. But if you would know what it is that is stolen, behold the Lord of the 2nd. Which if he be Saturn, it is lead, iron, a kettle, a trivet, a garment, or some black thing, or leather. If he be Jupiter, then it is some white thing, as tin, silver, or mixed with white and yellow veins. The sun signifies gold and precious pearls. Mars signifies things belonging to the fire. Venus signifies things belonging to women, as gloves, rings, and fair ornaments. The moon, beasts, such as horses, mules and perfumes and wars. Mercury signifies money, books, writings, pictures, or garments of divers colors. If you would know how many thieves there were, see the Lord of the 6th, which if he be in the 2nd, or with the Lord of the 2nd, there were many thieves. And if they be in the 3rd, the brethren or kinsmen of the Carent have committed the theft. If you would know whether the thief do yet remain in the town, if they be in succeedent houses, he is not gone far off. But if the be in cadent houses, he is far remote. If you desire to know towards what country the thief is fled, see in what signa the Lord of the 7th is, for if he be in Aries, he is in the middle of the east part. If in Taurus, in the south towards the east. If in Gemini, in the west towards the south. If in Cancer, full north. If in Leo, in the east towards the north. If in Virgo, in the south towards the west. If in Libra, full west. If in Scorpio, in the north near the west. If in Sagittary, in the east nigh the north. If in Capricorn, full south. If in Aquarius, in the west towards the north. And if in Pisces, in the north towards the west. If you would know whether the thief hath carried all the things stolen away with him, see the lord of the seventh and the eighth, and if the lord of the seventh be in an angle, he had a desire to carry away the same with him, but could not. If the lord of the eighth be in a mean house, or in a cadent house, and the lord of the second in a strong house, he hath carried the theft wholly with him. And if the lord of the seventh and the eighth be both in cadent houses, he neither carried it away, nor hath it. See by the seventh who is his companion, and what is his gain. If you would know the descent or nobility of a man or woman, look unto the lord of the seventh, which if you find him in angles, and the lord of the first in succedence or cadence, the woman is more noble than the man. But if the lord of the ascendant be in an angle, and the lord of the seventh in a succedent or cadent house, the man is more noble than the woman. And after the same manner thou mayst judge of two companions, or of any other persons whatsoever. And if the lord of the seventh be in the ninth house, he will take a wife out of a foreign country. If you desire to know whether an intended marriage shall take effect, or not, look to the ascendant in his lord, and the moon, for the querent. And the seventh house, and his lord, for the woman. And if the lord of the ascendant or the moon be joined to the lord of the seventh, or be in the seventh, the marriage will be effected. Or if the lord of the seventh be in the first, or with the lord of the first, it will easily be brought to pass, and the woman is more desirous thereof, than the man. If you would know whether thy wife or friend hath any other lover or not, look if Mars be in the seventh, so that he be not in his own house, for then she hath not any other lover. And if Saturn be there, she loveth another. But he lieth not with her. And if the dragon's tail be in the seventh, he lieth with her. And if Jupiter be there, she hardly containeth herself chaste. If Venus, she is merry, and much given to play and laughter, by reason whereof, she may be accounted a whore, and is not so. If Mercury be in the seventh, she had a lover, but now hath none. But if the moon be in the seventh, she hath had no lover as yet, but will have one, and will be common. But if the sun or the dragon's head be there, she is chaste. And after the same manner may you judge in the ninth concerning friends or lovers. If you would know which of them shall live longest, see the lord of the first and of the seventh, which of them shall be in the stronger and better place, or joined to the strongest planets. And that person who is most free and remote from the lord of the eighth and his participation, to whom the lord of his house answereth, shall live longest. If you desire to make a society or alliance, and would know whether it shall be brought to pass or not, or what shall happen thereupon, see if there be good planets to the seventh and the first, and if so, the fellowship will be made. And good will come thereof. And you may judge is to continue so many years, months or days, as the lord of the seventh hath signification of. If you would know when such society shall be, look what planet is in the seventh. For if he be good, it shall come to pass that same year, or wedlock, art if the question be thereof. If you would know whether they will well agree, see the first and his lord, which is the signifier of the querent. And the seventh house and his lord, which is the house, of companions, wives, and concubines, which if they be concordant amongst themselves, there will be peace and union between them, and they shall profit. But if the planets be in discord, there will be strife between them, and the society will not profit. If you would know which of them shall gain most, see the first and his lord, and the seventh and his lord, and which of them standeth best. Or if they be evil, which of them falleth, and he that falleth shall lose, and he that is exalted shall gain. Or otherwise, and which is better, see the second and his lord, and the eighth and his lord. And in which house is the better planet, or his lord that shall be found in the better place, or joined with the better planets he shall be the greater gainer. The second house, and his lord signifies the dam of the querent, and the eighth house and his lord signifies the gain of his fellow, or his part, and if the be both good, they shall both gain. And if both evil, they shall both lose, and if one be good and the other evil, he whose significator is good, shall gain, and he whose is evil, shall lose. And if you would know if two fellows shall love one another, look if the lords of the first and the seventh be friends and agreeing, then they will love one to another, but if they be enemies and disagree, then they will not. If you desire to know who shall overcome in any cause, matter or controversy, behold the lords of the first and the seventh, which if they be in angles, neither of them shall overcome. And see which of them is joined with an evil planet, because he shall overcome, and if the planet be evil from them both, the victor shall kill the conquered. If one of them be strong, and the other weak, and the planet which is in the strong house do not fall, nor hath not an evil planet with him. And if he which is weak be not in his own house, nor in his exaltation, nor with a good planet, he whose planet is in the strong house, shall overcome. Likewise he whose significator is in a mean house, shall have great fear and doubt in his heart, because sometimes he shall hope to conquer, and otherwhiles fear to be overcome. And note, that in a question concerning war and kingdom, it is said that there is more power and efficacy, or fortitude in the exaltation of a planet, than in his house, but in all other questions the contrary. If you would be informed concerning any one being that is gone to any fight, whether he shall return safe, see the Lord of the Ascendant, if he be good, that is, with good planets, and a good planet in the first, he will return safe. But if the sun be with the Lord of the first, in any part of the question, let him not go, because the sun burneth him. And if the Lord of the seventh be with a good planet, and the Lord of the first with a good planet likewise, he shall have some impediment in the way, but he will not die. And if an evil planet be with the Lord of the first, and a good planet in the first, if he goeth he shall suffer great damage, but not death, nevertheless he may be grievously wounded. And if Saturn be in the first, or with the Lord of the first, let him not go, because some impediment will happen unto him by some man that he will meet. And if there be an evil planet with the Lord of the first, or Saturn be in the first, or with the Lord of the first he will be wounded with wood or with a stone. If Mars and the dragon's tail be in the first, or with the Lord of the first. Or if there be evil planets in the first, or with the Lord of the first he will suffer wounds or death. See likewise if there be an evil planet in the eighth, because then death is to be feared. And if the sun be with the Lord of the seventh, or in the eighth, it signifies that it is ill to go. The like judgment is of the seventh and the 10th. And if a question be proposed concerning the event of war, see the seventh and the first, and their lords, for the first house and his lord signifies the querent, and the seventh house and his lord the adversary. So that if there be good planets in the first and evil in the seventh. And if the Lord of the first and seventh be evil, the querent shall overcome, but if there be an evil planet with the Lord of the first, and an evil planet in the first, and the Lord of the seventh good, or are in the seventh, the querent shall be overcome, or taken, or slain. And if the lords of them both be in the first, and there be good planets from the part of the first house, unto the end of the house which is the middle of the question, and if evil planets do possess the other half of the question. That is to say from the seventh unto the end of the 12th house, the adversary shall overcome. But if both the lords shall be in the ascendant, and if they be good from the part of the first, and evil from the part of the seventh, they shall both suffer great loss, but the querent shall have the better in the end. But if the Lord of the ascendant be in the seventh, or in his question, it signifies fortitude of the adversary, and if the Lord of the seventh be in the first, or in his question, it signifies fortitude of the actor. And if the Lord of the ascendant be in the eighth, or with the Lord of the eighth, or the Lord of the eighth in the first, or with the Lord of the first, it signifies the death of the querent. And if the Lord of the seventh be in the second, or with his Lord, or the Lord of the second in the seventh, or with the Lord of the seventh, it signifies the death of the enemy. If you would know whether war shall continue long or not, if mean or meanly, if the lords of the first and the seventh do agree, the parties shall be pacified after the war. If thou wouldest depart from the place wherein thou art, and remove thyself to some other place. And if thou wouldest know whether it be better for thee to stay or go, or concerning two businesses, if thou desirest to know which of them is most expedient for thee to undertake, consider the lords of the first and the second. For those places to which thou wouldest go, the place wherein thou art, and the gain which thou gettest there. And the seventh, and the eighth, and their lords, for the place to which thou wouldest go, and the gain which thou mayst get there, and those places choose, whose lords are the better, or join to the better planets. Or otherwise, behold the lord of the ascendant and the moon. Which if they be separated from evil planets, and joined to good and fortunate planets, it is better for thee to go from the place where thou art, than to stay there, and to do what business soever thou hast in thy mind. And if the lord of the ascendant and the moon be separated from the fortunes, and joined to evil planets, then it is not good for thee to remove thyself, nor to do thy business. Or thus, see the moon. And if the planet from which she is separated be better than that to whom she is joined, do not remove, and if the planet which she is joined to be better than that from which she is separated, then go. Questions of the eighth house. Concerning any man or woman, if you would know what kind of death they shall die, if Leo, Scorpio, or F Mars, be in the eighth, the party shall die by a beast. And if Saturn be in the eighth, or with the lord of the eighth in Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces, he shall die in water. And if an evil planet be in the eighth, or with the lord of the eighth, or if Mars or the dragon's tail be there, he shall die by fire, iron, or of a fever. And if there be a good planet in the eighth, or with the lord of the eighth, he shall die a good death. Questions of the ninth house. Concerning long journeys, see if the lord of the eighth have good planets with him, and if Saturn be in the ninth, and exalted in the tenth, so that he be not in his own house, do not go, for thou wilt meet with many obstacles, and war. And if an evil planet be in the ninth, or with the lord of the ninth, and the lord of the ninth in his fall, he shall suffer great damage in the way, for if he goeth by water, he shall suffer shipwreck. And if by land, he shall have misfortunes, be taken, or die. If Saturn be in the ninth, or with his lord, go securely. And if a good planet be in the ninth, or with the lord of the ninth, the way is good and secure. And if Mars be in the ninth, thou mayest not go, for thou wilt meet with mortal enemies in the way. And if the lord of the ninth be with an evil planet, or the sun, it signifies ill, but he shall not be taken. And if the lord of the ninth have a good planet near him, he shall escape, but if evil, he shall be taken. If Venus be in the ninth, or with the lord of the ninth, the way will be good, because he shall have comfort from women. And if Mercury be in the ninth, and the lord of the ninth with good planets, the way will be very good, and if he be with evil planets, it will be evil. And the same is said of the moon, as of Mercury. If the dragon's tail be in the ninth, he will meet with thieves or some evil people. And if the dragon's head be in the ninth, the way will be good, because he shall be accompanied with noble men. And in this manner may you judge in the third house concerning short journeys. If you would know when the journey shall be accomplished, see the lord of the ninth, and according to his fortitude or debility judge, because according to the place wherein he is signified years, months, or days, and so you shall judge concerning his stay, about what time he will come by turning the years of the lord of the ninth into days. Because so many days he shall tarry, as the planet signifies in the place where he is. Or otherwise, weak angles signify a speedy journey, mean angles a mean journey, and the lord of the ninth likewise, according to the place wherein he is found. And this I say concerning his return. If you would know whether he shall return from his journey with an imperfect voyage or not, see if the moon be joined with the lord of the first, the third, or the ninth, and the planet thereof be in his fall. Because if it be so, he shall return with an imperfect voyage. And if the moon be in her exaltation, the journey shall speedily be effected. And if there be two strong planets, and one cadent, the journey shall be made. And if one be strong, and another in his fall, he shall retire back. Questions of the 10th house. If thou wouldest know whether thou shalt have any honor or benefit from a king, bishop, or lord, or not, look unto the first house, and the ninth, and their lords, and if the lord of the first be in the ninth, or with the lord of the ninth, or with any other good planet, or if the lord of the ninth be in the first, or with the lord of the first, or with any other good planet, as Venus, Jupiter, or the dragon's head, or if any of them be the lord of the ninth, or are of the first, he shall receive honor and benefits from them. And if you would know whether he shall have it in his own country, or in a foreign country, look if the lord of the ninth be in angles, then it shall be in his own country, and if in succeedance, it shall be near. But if in cadent houses, very far off. Questions of the 11th house. If you would know when it is good to set forth a ship to sea, see the ascendant, which if it be stable, the ship will be ponderous. But if the lord thereof be with a good planet, she will sustain a great weight. And if the ascendant be unstable, and with a good planet, the ship will be swift, and carry a good burden. And meanly, if the ascendant be mean. And after this manner may you judge concerning an horse, if a question be thereof. And if any unstable signa be ascending, and his lord be in his exaltation, or otherwise fortunate, and the moon behold him with a lowering aspect, or sextile. Let the ship be applied to the water, because she will be very swift. And if any evil be imposed upon her, or that she be like to be drawn into it, then set her out when a stable signa is ascending, or when the moon is in the 3rd, 5th, 8th, 9th, or 10th house or mansion. If you would know what wind she shall have, behold the ascendant in his lord, whether he be with good or evil planets, and in what place, and accordingly judge. And if you would have a strong wind, spread forth your sails at the rising of Aquarii; if a small wind, spread your canvas when Libra is ascending; if a moderate wind, then direct your sails under Gemini. Questions of the 12th house. For imprisonment, consider the 12th and the 1st, and if the lord of the 12th be in the 1st, or with the lord of the 1st, and. How do you find this book? Any thoughts about the book or the author? Any suggestion for improvement? Please take a moment to share your thoughts in a comment. If you like it, share it with your friends who might enjoy it as well. Subscribe to keep in touch. Visit CompleteAudiobooks.com for more quality content.